Hello again, everyone. So I have another What's in My Pen Case video, and this is one that I have had on the channel before, but it has new items in it. I basically did a little reshuffling because this now contains 5 Narwhal pens, because I got 2 additional Narwhal pens recently. So this is the Galen 5-pen pen case with a little spot to put an A6 notebook here on the side. I really like this pen case. It's very nice and compact. It's nice when you just want to carry 5 pens. But I am going to put a link down below to the video where I talked about the pen and ink and nib combinations that I have on these 3 pens. These are in the Schuylkill range. Which I'm not going to do again today just because I have a whole video on that, and it's in my Perfect Pairings series because these are all ones that I really liked. And in the meantime, I'm going to take these 2 out, which are the new additions here. And this one is the Las Colorados version of this newer pen that has a takes a cartridge or converter, as opposed to being a piston fill like all of the others. So this one and this one, they both have Narwhal broad nibs in them. Now, if you go and look at that other video where I talk about the Narwhals, I talk about how I'm not a big fan of the Narwhal nibs, but these 2 are actually not bad. And I would have to say that I think this broad is better than this broad, so maybe they're getting better at their nibs. I don't know. I haven't gotten anything lower than a broad because I felt like they're the fine and the medium, which I had tried, were really skimpy on ink, so I didn't want to have that experience again. So this one is full of purple sparkles. I knew I had to have it when I saw it. They debut this at a pen show. I forget which one. But people were posting it on social media all the time, and they have a couple of other colors in this collection. They have a gold and I want to say a blue, but I can't remember. But people were talking about this purple one, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, I like that one because I like sparkles, I like purple. So this one's really nice. I do prefer the piston fill system over the cartridge converter system, so I probably won't get any others in this series if they release more, but I thought this one was really pretty. So it is I would say on the lighter side for fountain pen, but it's not too crazy light. It's comfortable unposted. Posted, it's still comfortable, but it's a slight bit back heavy. So it's not perfect as far as the balance is concerned for my writing. I think that the Schuylkill pens, which I will show you in that other video, are a little bit better balanced unposted. I prefer them unposted, and I find them very balanced that way. This one, you know, is a little heavy posted and a little light unposted. So then we go on to this Narwhal. So this, I'm sorry, they're all Narwhals. That's the brand. This is called the Nautilus is the brand. And this was a special edition made out of ebonite, which is really, really pretty. I opted to go for this one because I figured I wasn't going to get more than one of these. They've since released all kinds of special editions. They have some with the poured acrylic from, what is it, Carolina Pen Company. So they'll probably do more special editions, but this particular one was in this ebonite, which is sort of a purplish color. This is probably not available anymore, but you can get this model in a variety of places. And like I said, they seem to be releasing more and more special editions. So one thing that I actually am not a big fan of on this one is the pen clip. I feel like it feels a little flimsy. Given that this is such a quality material, this ebonite, it just feels a little flimsy on the cap. And I'm not sure how I feel about the little gold cap at the end. I don't know. But I do like the little portholes to see. This is a piston fill again, so that's really how you're checking your ink level It's really kind of nice. I'm going to do a writing sample with both of these here in a minute, but I wanted to show them to you first. And so this is a pretty big pen. But I actually find this one more comfortable unposted than this one. Because, you know, if you let go, it doesn't fall forward or back. It's maybe a hint back heavy, even without the cap. This one does not post at all. So this one you can post if that is something that you want to do, but this one you cannot at all. The feel of it is really, really nice. I really like the ebonite feeling, even though it's like polished ebonite. It has a very nice feeling. The piston mechanism was really smooth when I filled it. This one had a gold trim, which I favor. I do like a gold trim. I can't tell if this is supposed to be rose gold. They're very similar. It might be rose gold. And then this one's regular gold, but I do kind of like the gold trims over the silver or rhodium trims. All right, well, with all that, let's go ahead and do a writing sample. So I also felt like I had to get this one because it is Las Coloradas is the name of it, and that's where I live right now. So I thought that would be kind of cool. And the nib, yeah, I do think this is rose gold. So the nib matches the hardware there. But again, it's just too light without the cap and too heavy with the cap. So it's just not a perfect balance in my opinion. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit there. So this is a narwhal. This one, see, you know, you're going to see why I'm not a huge fan of their nibs. This has been sitting for a little while, but this one right out of the box, it did have a little bit of a problem with ink flow. I think once it gets going, it could also be the ink, because the ink is a gunky, an ink that can get gunky. So this is Narwhal Las Colorados. I think it's Colorados. So you're getting some holidays there in the writing, which I am not a big fan of. If I press a little harder, I don't get that. Except for there. And so this is with a stock broad nib. This might be one that I replace. Just because, again, this is still not that satisfying. It's better than the other nibs I got from Narwhal. But, you know, if it can't stay consistent sitting for a little while, it could also be that the cap is allowing some dry out. It's just not very practical for me. So this ink is Troublemaker Grapevine. So this ink, it is a pretty good shader, so this could be part of the problem, is the ink here. However, and you can see the flow is getting better as I write more and more. But it's still not my favorite. It's not super like 100% smooth. I kind of like my broad nibs to be super, super smooth on paper, and this is just not quite there. I mean, I suppose I could have a custom ground or something. So that's still kind of up in the air as to what I want to do with this one. So let's go ahead and go on to this one, which also has a broad nib. So let's see how it compares. So this one is, again, Narwhal. See, this one is a little better. This one has been better from the start. And again, it could be the ink. So I don't want to disparage it entirely. So this is a Nautilus. Oops, Nautilus with a broad nib. And this is a very wet ink, so that could also be part of it. I don't know if piston fill versus cartridge converter has something to do with it too. Your ink is not going to flow as wet in a cartridge converter pen as it can in a piston fill pen. So that could be part of it. It's probably all elements to it. So this ink is Birmingham Waterfront Dusk, which in other pens has just been like a gusher, And in this pen, it seems to be pretty well controlled. I just think they tune their nibs. Narwhal tunes their nibs to be kind of skimpy, which I'm not a fan of. And I've tried tuning other Narwhal nibs and it just hasn't worked. And supposedly they make their nibs in-house, so I do want to give them room for improvement because I think it's, you know, laudable that they have decided to do that. Oh, and I just saw down here, you can't see very well, but this is actually a numbered edition. This is number, what does that say? Number 89 of 300. And I'm pretty sure these are no longer available, but I'll take a look. If I can find it somewhere, I'll put a link to it. If not, just know there's probably going to be many different limited editions of these that will be available. You can definitely get this model if you are interested in the look and feel of this model. So this is a pretty large cigar-shaped pen. You can see the comparison of these two. It's definitely taller. It still fits in the pen case though, so that's kind of nice. Because originally I started this as a what's in my pen case video, right? And I guess my other thing too is I kind of wish that I had, I mean, I get why they redid the clip. It's so that it could be a little more sleek with this model, but I wish it was more like the other ones, which aren't my favorite clip either, but again, it just felt a little cheap on this really nice materialed pen. So there you go. Still not the biggest fan of the Narwhal nibs. Now these nibs match these pens. So if I want to get something, I'll have to get a rose gold nib. Bach makes a rose gold nib, which I could maybe replace this with. And then this one's just a regular gold nib. But that's probably what I'll end up doing eventually, is replacing them. I think for both of these, they don't screw out. You would have to do the friction fit pull deal with them, so you'd have to pull them out of the housing and then replace them with another nib. As I mentioned on the video where I talked about these, I have also replaced the feed on these so that they flow better, which is not possible with all pens, and I don't know if it would be possible with these and whether the feed system is a little bit different than these. But I did want to kind of talk about those and show you the new broad nib by Narwhal, which mixed reviews from me. All right, well, take care. I think that's all I had for you today, so feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.